In the 5th grade was the first time that I was on the playground and some kid pulled off my turban on the playground. At that point, I didn't even know how to put on a turban myself, you know? So I was walking around school the rest of the day with my turban like hanging off of my head. I mean, talk about humiliating. There was a real desire to like be white. I really wanted to not be this foreign presence, you know? I wanted my name to be like John, and I wanted to like have a nice haircut and like play basketball, you know, like that's how I felt, you know, and it's hard to admit that.
P.S. We do want our country back.
The Muslims who are taking over the country? Is that what, I don't know if that's what she means. You're into my shirt. It's a matter of time to get heckled.
There's no accident. The campaign campaign is taking place in the midst of deepening economic crisis.
September 11th, the 9th anniversary of those attacks, has really brought into sharp focus the debate about the proposed Islamic Cultural Centre, which, if built, would just be a couple of hundred metres down there, and the debate was playing out each side of the a couple of hundred metres away.
Even in New York, I think 60 to 70% of the people, maybe more, like walking down the street assume I'm Muslim.
I'm not. I'm a Sikh. Sikhism is a totally separate faith, though I feel a lot of affinity and solidarity with the Muslim community based on our shared experiences of discrimination and our shared belief of God.
Sikhs don't cut our hair, and typically the men wear turbans. Sometimes women wear turbans too, but culturally it's mostly men.
Sikhism was an anti-caste movement in its inception, and at the time, turbans were worn by kings and emperors. To start wearing turbans was a really radical act. It's saying we're actually all on the same level. All human beings are sacred. All human beings were created by the divine, and by wearing this turban, we're acknowledging that. To me, it feels like a really deep responsibility to continue holding on to this article of faith.
Hey Susan, this is Sunny from the Sikh Coalition.
One of the things that I'm working on is bullying and bigotry in schools, which is obviously something that's very personal to me. And things are even worse now than they were when I was a kid. Last year, a Sikh kid at a high school in Queens was dragged into a bathroom by some of his classmates who pulled off his turban and cut his hair off. In terms of what you can really do to mess with the core of a Sikh person's being, you really can't get much worse than that.
That's a great idea, right? So one is talking to the principal, and then another is asking the principal to change the way that things are supposed to happen. Can I wear pants? Go ahead. You explain to them why you couldn't shave your legs, or why...
Why I couldn't shave my legs, because obviously I wasn't gonna go shave it, you know, because...
Yeah.
And so I explained to them why I couldn't do it. And they understood though.
And the teasing...
It stopped.
Stopped after that. That's great. Don't keep this stuff inside. You know, don't let it bring you down. That's what I did when I was a kid, and that's not good for you, and it's not good for your family. It's not good for anyone, really. So talk to anyone you can trust. And finally, we want to know what's going on in your schools. So we have a survey for all students who go to public schools in New York City so we can make sure they're doing better. So everyone stay and fill out a survey real quick. So have you heard of these new rules and policies about bias-based bullying? No. Okay. And have you heard about this email address that you can report harassment? Like, you haven't heard about that? Have you experienced any bullying?
Yeah.
You have? Okay. And why do you think it happened? Because of your religion? Because of your race?
My religion.
get harassed all the time, sometimes multiple times a day. Just like within the course of 1 hour of my commute, there was like 4 separate incidents of, you know, people saying something stupid or some sort of racist comment. It's often people saying something about me and they know I can hear it, and then if I confront them, they deny that it happened. I can speculate on why and like different things going on in the world, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, it leaves me with the same feeling that I've experienced my whole life, starting from when I was like a really little kid, you know, feeling really vulnerable, feeling very isolated. And if the incident happens, it's done, and I didn't say anything, like, it just feels just like kind of hopeless.
Okay, cool. I told you about Tuesday, right? The press conference on the school bullying issues.
Yeah, I know.
So, you want to just write your name and the best way to get a hold of you? Phone number or email? Yeah, definitely tell your daughter. We're meeting here at 9.
Okay.
We're meeting here at 9.
At 9. And we're going to go next to City Hall.
Yep. Yep.
That's good. I will tell my wife to take the kids along. Yeah.
So what we're doing in the Sikh Coalition and what we're doing on Tuesday is we're fighting against inequality. We're trying to change it so we can all be equal, right?
So can I make a poster?
Yeah, you can make a poster. What do you want to write on your poster?
Stop bullying Sikhs.
Stop bullying Sikhs. That's good. Gotham is this again. P-L-A-G. What's up, brother?
Looks like a businessman.
No, man. An activist in a suit. How you doing, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Sahib Singh? Anji. So basically, more press, like newspaper reporters and TV reporters are going to come in a little while. And then there's going to be a few speeches. I'm going to make a speech, introduce a few other people. And we'll do like a little bit of chanting like you guys are already doing with everyone getting excited. And then if they want to do interviews, they can do interviews. Oh, no.
The news service LNS is on the way, which is the TV service that actually gives video footage to all the networks. So
Cool.
That's good that they're coming, because that means they'll feed it to all the, hopefully.
Great, great. What do we want?
Safe schools.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Safe schools. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Safe schools. When do we want it? Now.
One of the findings that we found out from surveying these 1,100 students and teachers is that of the students who reported being harassed because of their race, their religion, their sexual orientation, their disability, 16% of them were harassed by either a teacher, school staff, or a school safety agent. They were harassed by the people who were supposed to be keeping us safe. If that's not ridiculous, I don't know what is.
Have you complained to Department of Education officials presenting them this evidence or during the year, and what have they said?
Yes, we actually sat down with the Department of Education last week and presented them some of our numbers. They are looking into a few of the recommendations that we had. They're saying they're taking steps to implement the regulation, but our numbers show very differently that it's actually not being fully implemented. You know, we're impatient. What can I say? We're impatient, but why are we impatient? Because we're hearing stories from our youth every day. Because Sikh youth are coming up to me in the Gurdwaras and telling me, someone called me a terrorist today. Someone pulled off my turban today. Sikhs don't cut their hair. And students have been telling me they want to cut the hair, not because they want to give up their faith, but because they can't take it anymore. You know, what we're saying here today is we need that regulation to be implemented. We need it to be strengthened. So we'll take questions now. I believe some of the students will be available for interviews as well.
Sorry, what?
During my freshman year in high school, I was harassed.
Tell them who you are, more.